All right, I'm the Flat Rate Master, and let's talk about some funny stories from the shop. All right, first one, tow in 06 Honda Accord. Customer states, stalled. I was up front when the service writer was talking to him, and he verified for the customer that he did not put diesel fuel in it. But yet he mentioned something about fueling and put the wrong fuel in it, and then it stalled. Yeah, confirmed. It had diesel in it. Yes. All right, so let's talk about a quick little thing. Determining if it's diesel or gas. Smell is the easiest way, unless you're sick like I am and have trouble smelling. But I had a couple other people smell it. They thought it was diesel, but it wasn't diesel. I took that sample, and color-wise, we had another car that was getting a fuel sample taken, and it was very different. And I was like, yeah, probably diesel. I had already pulled a spark plug. It looked like diesel. So I went ahead and put it on my vise, the little square section of my vise, lit it on fire. It burned, which usually puts it as gasoline. But when it got done burning, I had an oil slick on that pad, confirming that it was gasoline mixed with diesel. So after draining the tank, putting in new spark plugs, and well, getting it all cleaned out, it ran. So, don't put diesel in a gas car. Real simple. Okay, next story. Next story, I'm gonna pick on Hyundai a little bit, but we had a customer come in, complaint was brake pad fell out. Yes, confirmed, brake pad did fall out. Daughter's car, daddy was quite pissed because, well, she should have been able to hear it metal to metal. It was literally, the piston was about to pop out, so it was quite dangerous. A complaint that was not written on the RO was the squealing belt, like bad squealing. And so I pulled it in, looked at, Carfax, wrote it up for calipers in the front, rear brakes in the back because they were low. And I also wrote it up for a timing belt along with those belts. There was no record of it being done in Carfax. Well, it turns out it had been done, but it had been done so long ago that it was due for it again. But in the meantime, service writer told me that they've had several problems with it, including losing a belt that was installed by the Hyundai dealership. Now, I'm like, okay, so we probably, maybe a pulley misaligned or something like that. I pull it in to go ahead and do all the work that was approved. The only thing they declined was a CV axle, but hey, timing belt and front and rear brakes and calipers, I'll take that. The alternator belt, now it's the 4-cylinder older Hyundai with the timing belt with the manual adjust drive belt. It had a bandeau belt on it, by the way. Debris everywhere from the belt slipping. Check everything. Everything looks good lined up. The belt is loose. Like loose. And I've unfortunately seen this many, many times with manual tension belts. Now I go back to the era of V-belts and, well, if you ever dealt with V-belts, they squeal. They squeal. Anyway, obviously not adjusted correctly. Now, one of the things I've done over the years is I've gotten a feel for belt tension. I don't use a gauge because I find them to be, well, on the loose side. You don't want to go too tight because obviously that causes bearing wear, but on the other side of it, belts stretch a little bit. That's why automatic tensioners became a thing because, belts stretch. So you want to put it tight enough that it doesn't squeal, but not so tight that it, burns up a bearing or something like that. Well, the AC belt had never been changed. Remember, it had a timing belt. I mean, it was, you could see light through the V grooves. That was that thin. So they changed the alternator belt, but not that one. Wasn't squealing, it was the alternator belt. But anyway, checked everything, made sure all the pulleys were good, put a new water pump in, so I know that pulley's good, ASN pump. And, well, adjusted it to how I adjust belts, to feel. Not by spec, not by the, whatever they say, because I find Bando belts are usually really good about limited stretch, but like you do a Dayco or a Gates, you put that sucker tight because it's going to stretch like a mother. I've had those belts come back and have literally run out of adjustment because they stretch so much. I don't like Gates or Dayco belts. Another fun one. Hit a bump in the road. Yeah, ball joint separated. Yeah, sure. I'm sure shops haven't been telling her she needed control arms forever. No, just, it's fine. Yeah, gonna be quite expensive. Control arm, CV axle, tie rod end, the other side, because, it needs control arms because ball joints. Gotta love customers. As always, thanks for watching. I am the Flat Rate Master.